Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker, Representative Thomas, Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer,
Present.
Chair McPherson.
Here. So we have a quorum, and to do business here, do I hear a motion to approve the November minutes? So moved by.
I'll second that.
So moved and second. Any objections? No objections. We'll consider those approved. All right. So we've got Brian. Oh, I'm sorry, Catherine. Would you report on the information items? I messed up the whole thing here. Sorry about that.
There are three information items to report. Pursuant to KRS 45760 sub 5, the University of Kentucky reported several medical and research equipment purchases. Pursuant to KRS 45812 sub 1, through their fiscal agents, 5 school districts, none of which needed additional tax levies to pay debt service, reported upcoming bond issues to finance new projects. School districts were Allen County, Barberville Independent in Knox County, Hardin County, Madison County, and Murray Independent in Callaway County. Finally, the School Facilities Construction Commission transmitted a list of prior debt issues for fiscal year 2026 through December 3rd.
All right. So I think first testimony is Brian Mackin and Ryan Green are here in person. Agenda item number 4A, an appropriation increase requiring action. So if you gentlemen will introduce yourself, and the floor is yours. I think you need to turn your microphone on, or maybe toward you.
My name is Ryan Green, Senior Executive Director of Government Finance.
I don't think it's still on. Just make sure your green button is green.
Yeah. Oh. Thank you.
Now you're going.
All right. Ryan Green, Senior Executive Director of Government Finance, and next to me is our Chief Operations Officer, Brian Mackin. We have a project that has estimates of 100% federally funded receipts for an increase to capital project facility co-located with the Central Kentucky Regional Airport, and we're reporting that project per statutes and guidance in cooperation with committee staff.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions, concerns?
Central Kentucky, you're talking about Richmond?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is with Eastern Kentucky University with their flight school.
Mm-hmm. Our local partner, the airport board.
Got a nephew that graduated from there, so good stuff. All right. So you have a question? All right, Senator Fromeyer has a question.
Thank you. Can you expound just a little bit more on what will be the ultimate use, and is there any tie-in to the aviation and aeronautics potential expansion of air traffic control?
Yes, be happy to answer that for you. This particular project is going to be construct a terminal building out at the Central Kentucky Regional Airport. So the natural tie-in, given that Eastern Kentucky University is what's called the fixed-based operator or the manager of the airport, there's going to be a natural tie-in as well as with other projects we have going on. For instance, we are getting ready to construct a flight school out at the Central Kentucky Regional Airport as well. So having these projects co-located and co-mingled within that project benefits not just the university, but the Madison County community as a whole.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. And the flight school, who will be the operator or the funder of the flight school?
Eastern Kentucky University.
So that will be done with taxpayer dollar, not a private enterprise?
Right. Public appropriations, yes. And revenue collected from students that are in the program.
That will compensate?
Yes.
Repay that debt?
Well, there's no debt. The appropriations currently are a $25 million appropriation from an earlier budget bill.
Resources that have already been
absolutely
applied. And were there other private interests that may have had an interest in having a flight school there that wasn't authorized? I know there's a flight school on site with the CVG airport in Northern Kentucky.
No, this will be run by Eastern Kentucky University.
Correct.
The flight school portion out there, yes.
Okay.
There are other private entities that have individual flight schools or flight programs out there, but no taxpayer dollars will be spent on those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Did anybody else have? Go ahead, Senator.
You've had several graduate from this, right? This is nothing but other than the fact that I flew a little bit and flew in and out of. I never heard it called Central Kentucky. I don't know. They changed the.
Used to be the Masson Airport.
Yeah, all right. So it's still EKQ or whatever. I ain't flew in 12, 15 years. But I love this. I love it. And I hope, and Somerset Community College is going to be doing some of it with you all and going from Hopkinsville and long flights and short flights and all the things to do. So it's perfect. And as soon as we get air traffic controllers, even much better.
We agree.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion made. Do I hear a second? Second. Motion made and second. Madam Chairman, will you call her? Madam, not Chairman, Madam Secretary. I'm sorry.
Senator Girdler. Aye. Senator Maiden. Senator Thomas. Aye. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Stalker.
Yes.
Representative Thomas. Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. So you have approval, and I appreciate your testimony today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. All right. Next up, we have Elizabeth Baker here in person to present on Agenda 4B, a lease purchase requiring action. Ms. Baker, if you'll have a seat and introduce yourself and make sure the mic's on, and the floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Baker. I'm with the University of Kentucky. We are here on a lease purchase. The property has an 85,000 square foot facility on it and 9.6 acres. It is located at 415 West Sun Street in Moorhead, Rowland County, Kentucky. The total cost, the total price will be $6.4 million. And this has been approved by the Finance Cabinet as well as our Board of Trustees. The terms of the lease purchase, it will, contingent upon the committee's approval, begin January 1 and go through December 31 of 2028. It will consist of the first payment of $640,240, and then 12 quarterly payments of $480,180. And this price is below both the appraisals that were conducted pursuant to the applicable statute.
Anybody have any questions? Chair Page, go ahead.
Thank you. This seems just a little odd, and so I'm kind of closing in on Rowan County Board of Education wants quarterly payments, and they're doing this at a slightly less than 2 appraisals on the property. I'm sure there's a reason. Can you explain what's going on there?
The financing arrangement is per their request.
Mm-hmm.
We offered a different arrangement, and this is the way they want it. So
You have any? I'm sorry. If you have any insight of why they're preferring this?
They told us that they did not want the full amount up front.
Anything further than that?
No, sir. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It just strikes you as a little odd.
We have been back to them several times to ensure that this is the way they want it. And each time they have assured us that this financing arrangement is what they prefer.
All right, very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So is there any interest paid on this, or is it just a straight purchase price,
Straight purchase price.
Well, being an appraiser, I'd hate to say that 2 appraisers are wrong, but no, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Senator.
Yes. This is Ms.
Baker, Elizabeth Baker.
Does Rowland County already have a hospital there?
This property, I'm sorry, I should have said that. This piece of property is directly across the street from UK St. Clair, and that is why we were interested. They approached us to purchase the property.
They do.
Rowan County approached us because they don't want this property anymore. It used to be their Board of Education location, and they've gone to a new location. So they approached us, asking us if we would like to purchase the property, and we would like to purchase the property for use for many uses given its location. It also has a pedway across the road to the hospital for us.
Okay. So it's possible that the Board of Education sees it in Round County's best interest that UK expands its medical facilities there in Round.
Yes, sir. And that is our intent. That is our intent with this property.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, thank you. All right, do I hear a motion?
I so
Okay, I have a motion. Do I hear a second? I have a second by Representative Stalker. All right, Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Girdler,
Aye.
Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie,
Yes.
Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas, Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer,
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. Congratulations, got it done.
Thank you all. I hope you have a good holiday.
You too. Thank you, ma'am. Now, Miss Janet Thomas is here. Janice Thomas is here in person to present on agenda item number 5, 3 appropriation increases requiring action and 4 pool allocations requiring no action. So I guess we'll take the actions items first. Do I hear a motion that we roll these action items?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made. Do I hear a second? All approved? All right. So we will roll the action items, go ahead with them, and then we'll stop and vote, and then you can proceed with the other items.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes,
Thank you very
ma'am.
much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Janice Thomas, Deputy State Budget Director. As you say, I have 7 projects to report to you today. Each of the appropriation increases are within the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet. First is the Fish and Wildlife Ballard Wildlife Management Area Big Pump Project appropriation increase in the amount of $209,000, of which $156,800 is from the Pittman Robertson Wildlife Restoration Federal Grant and $52,200 from restricted funds from the Fish and Game Fund, bringing the total from $10 million to $10,209,000. This is a 2.1% increase. The project will construct a new pump station, which is required to effectively manage the water levels on a complex of wetland units of waterfowl and hunting. Next is the Department of Parks Lake Barkley State Resort Park Emergency Repairs Project appropriation increase, $610,800, representing an 8.1% increase, and will be funded from the 24-26 Structural and Safety Repairs Pool, bringing the total appropriation to $8,110,800. This project addresses critical maintenance, life safety, and accessibility needs throughout the Lake Barkley State Resort Guest Lodge Complex. The third project for Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet is Department of Parks Lake Barkley Lodge Wing Exterior Repair Project appropriation increase in the amount of $203,900 funded from the 2016-18 maintenance pool, which represents 3.4% increase, bringing the total to $6,203,900. This project will demolish, repair, and replace concrete structures that serve as the structural foundations for walkways and replace all roofs for room wings and associated covered walkways. Those are the 3 appropriation increase projects. Thank you.
Okay. Does any member have questions? Chair Petrie?
Thank you. Thank you for the report. And relative to Lake Barkley, the 2 projects there, if I'm understanding correctly, an 8.14% increase and a 3.39% increase, relatively small amounts of money. It says due to construction bids coming in higher than expected. Is it solely based on that, or is it primarily based on that?
I'd like to bring Scott Baker to the table to respond to that. He's with Finance Facilities.
Introduce yourself for the record, and the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Scott Baker, Division of Engineering, Finance Cabinet. So these particular projects at Lake Barkley are due to basically the contingency for the construction amount. The project bids came in really, really close to the amount that was available, but we didn't have any contingency. And with this nature of project and the type it was, we felt as though funding the contingency levels to have an approval for contingency funding for the construction contract was needed. So that's primarily what this funding is for, is just to fund the contingency.
I got you. So almost solely this is in response
Yes,
to
sir.
the bids themselves. I appreciate the more detail on the contingency part.
Yes,
That's the nature of doing capital projects. That's what I needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, so that takes care of the ones that require action. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion made. Do I hear a second?
Not right now, 'cause the other ones are full projects, but still.
Motion made and seconded. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll.
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Senator Maiden. Senator Thomas. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Stalker.
Yes.
Representative Thomas. Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. All right, so we have approval of the ones that require action. Now you can go ahead with the pool items that require no action.
Thank you. The last four are pool projects in excess of $1 million with the authority provided in the budget bill, Part 2, Paren 4. The first three are with the Department of Education. First is the Future Farmers of America Lower Classroom HVAC Upgrades Project in the amount of $1,354,500, funded with the State Schools HVAC Pool 2224. This project will remove all existing window air conditioning units, floor radiators, and install a new mechanical system that will heat and cool each classroom in the recreation hall at the Future Farmers of America Leadership Training Center in Hardinsburg. Second is the Department of Education, Kentucky School for the Blind McDaniel-Scoggin HVAC Upgrades Project is funded in the amount of $2,714,000 from the State Schools HVAC 2224 pool. This project will decommission the current central steam plant and install a geothermal system for better efficiency. Third is the Department of Education, KSD Brady Hall HVAC project is funded in the amount of $10,441,000 from the 2224 State Schools HVAC pool. This project will replace the existing heat pump and install a new control system for the units. And the last project is for the Kentucky State University Shanty Hall renovation in the amount of $7,680,000 using 24-26 asset preservation bond funds. This renovation will make necessary renovations to the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, architectural improvements of low-maintenance flooring, and building envelope modifications and repairs to create an area for the School of Engineering and Technology. This project will also take the opportunity for minor expansion allowed under the guidelines of the 24-26 asset preservation funds allocations. The KSU Board of Regents approved the projects as requested on August 8th and 9th of 2025, and the Council of Post-Secondary Education approved this project on November 18th of 2024. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any members have any questions concerning these pool projects? If not, thank you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all as well.
All right. Let's see where we at. Turn the page. All right. Next we have testimony from Natalie Browner. She is here remotely and to present on agenda item number 6, a new lease and lease modification requiring action. Let's see, do I hear, I guess we do need to roll these two since there's two of them. Do I hear a motion to roll these two into one? So moved. Do I hear a second? All right, I have a motion and a second. So again, she's here remotely. Are you here, Natalie? Are you here remotely?
I am. Thanks so
Okay,
much.
so introduce yourself and the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Natalie Bronner, and I'm the director of the Division of Real Properties. The first item I have today is a new lease for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services under PR 5827 in Wayne County. Per KRS 56803, the competitive bid process resulted in one response for new construction, which was submitted by William R. Fowler. It should be noted this is the second time we've advertised for Wayne County, and each time only one best and final was submitted. Under this advertisement, the best and final was originally $32.45 per square foot, but per KRS 5680315B, further negotiations were permitted and agreed to since the proposed lessor was the only respondent. Therefore, the proposed lease is for 9,779 square feet of office space at a rental rate of $25 per square foot, excluding utilities and janitorial, which is $244,475 annually through June 30th, 2033. The agency has recommended approval, and the lease is being reported pursuant to KRS 56823.2. The second item is a lease modification for PR 5906 for the Transportation Cabinets Division of Driver's Licensing in Christian County. Under KRS 56813.1, same term space was located, and the lessor agreed to lease 4,325 square feet of office space at a rental rate of $14.85 per square foot, or $64,226.28 annually, excluding electric, garbage collection, and janitorial services, but including gas, water, and sewer. Renovations are necessary to accommodate the agency, which include demolition, installation of framing and drywall, upgrade of electrical and HVAC services, and all associated interior finish work. 2 estimates were secured, with the low estimate of $299,754.26 from HBN Contracting LLC. Negotiations resulted in the lessor agreeing to absorb a large portion of the renovation cost, with the agency's remaining portion being $172,479.80. Per the lease modification, this cost will be amortized through the extended lease term of June 30th, 2033. And this modification is being reported to the committee pursuant to KRS 56823.11. Any questions on those?
So is this a new facility in Christian County?
So it is a new lease. It will replace an existing site there.
Okay, so there is an already existing site. It's not a new.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other member? Okay, Senator Fromeyer.
Thank you, Natalie. On the first lease that was described in Wayne County, I know you acknowledged that there was an original proposed rent of $32.45, and it was negotiated down to $25.
That's correct.
What's the geographical flexibility? It just seems alarming that there is a $5.65 per square foot currently leased, and I'm just wondering what's the geographical opportunity to maybe go into a different county.
I do have folks on from the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. I do know that they prefer to have locations in each county. So, but if they want to speak more to that, certainly I would welcome that input.
We would certainly like that input.
Thank you, Natalie. We do currently have locations in every county, particularly in the county seats of every county, to service the at-risk members of the community. That is currently the standard across the state, that we have at least one office in every county.
If you don't mind, would you give your name for the record?
I'm sorry, I'm Megan Wilson. I'm the Leasing and Design Branch Manager for the Cabinet of Health and Family Services.
Thank you, ma'am.
And what is the, thank you for sharing that. What's the specific distance from this particular determined location to that currently exists?
They are both within the city limits, but I'm not exactly sure about the distance. I could look that up for you if you need that information.
I guess my question is, this is an additional facility? It's quite substantial, and I'm curious, as you said, the standard is by county, but it's not required. So what's the physical distance from this location to the nearest next county location.
So I do want to clarify that it's not an additional location. It would be a replacement for our current office in Wayne County. Natalie, would you be familiar with what the distance is between those two locations?
I'm sorry, I don't have that information. Certainly, we can get that for you. I just would like to add, though, that the existing site, the cabinet entered into that lease in 1977, and I do know, given the age, they are seeking new space, and again, based on multiple advertisements, we've kind of ended up back at the same point as far as new construction. And the first round that was bid, the original price per square foot came in even higher. I believe it was $34 and something a square foot. So, we're encouraged that we have been able to negotiate that down to 25. And again, this will be a new construction site there for them.
I can give a little bit of a leadway. Wayne County is my district. Wayne County is just southwest of Pulaski County, Somerset. Probably, if you're talking about moving to other counties in that area, you're going to get farther and farther away. Now, you can come back to Somerset. The only problem you got with Somerset, you're going to end up with as high a rent or more because of all the things that's in there. So I don't know where it is exactly at, but if it's in the city limits of Monticello, there's not a whole lot to choose from in the city limits part. So I don't think it'd be any better off going to moving and joining with another county. So just because you're getting into the big lake part there.
Does this mean you're adamantly opposed to it?
No, it's adamantly opposed altogether. Agree.
I guess that's the crux of my question. Is it necessary? Just because each county has a location, do we necessarily need to replace? Can the other facility nearby suffice? And I don't know the proximity, geographical proximity.
Do you have an address?
Because it's a new build, the address hasn't been issued at this time. So that's why we're having a little bit of trouble telling you exactly the distance away, because the address has been issued because it's a new build.
Do you have an old address?
I believe the current or the proposed facility is 187 West Kentucky 90.
Which is right on the main thoroughfare through there, which is right, at the intersection of 90 and Old 90. So it would be, I don't know where the old one's at, but that's where the new one's going to be at.
An important $250,000 per year to spend.
I would think so, definitely. If it's in 120 counties, I don't know where you're going to go anywhere else in that county, and to be able to do it, that would be the only problem you got.
The current location is at 1500 North Main in Monticello.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's helpful.
Does anybody else have any questions? All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion. Motion made by Representative Stalker. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second made. All right. Madam Secretary, do you want to call the roll?
Senator Girdler.
Aye.
Senator Maiden. Senator Thomas. Representative Petrie.
Yes.
Representative Stalker.
Yes.
Representative Thomas. Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. Okay, so we do have approval, and appreciate your testimony here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda, we have Sandy Williams, and she is here remotely to present on agenda item number 7A, sewer and water loans for the Clean Water Program water grant allocation requiring action and a line item water grant reallocation requiring no action. So we'll take the action items first, and do I hear a motion on rolling those action items?
Motion.
Motion made. Do I hear a second? Motion made and second, so no objections. We will roll those items, and you can go ahead and give us, Ms. Williams, you can do the action items first, and then we'll vote on it, and then we'll go to the non-action items. Just introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair McPherson and members of the committee. I'm Sandy Williams, Executive Director with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Pursuant to KRS 224A-100, we do have those 7 loans and 2 grants that you just talked about, sir. First, the City of Hopkinsville has a Fund A loan in the amount of $8,500,000 for their HWEA Phase 9 Priority 3 Sewer Rehabilitation Project. The project does include the design and construction of 3 pumping station rehabilitations, 2 siphon replacements, replacement of a force main, and approximately 4,200 linear feet of 24 and 12-inch gravity sewer replacement. This will be a 20-year loan with a 1% interest rate and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. The Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's Fund A loan in the amount of $20 million is for their LFUCG North Elkhorn Wet Weather Storage Tank Project. The project will replace the existing North Elkhorn pump station with a new regional facility, which will include a dry weather pump station, a wet weather pump station, and a new wet weather storage tank. This 20-year loan has an interest rate of 1.75% interest and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. Moving to our infrastructure revolving fund, Fund B, the City of Grayson's Fund B loan in the amount of $3,280,350 is for their water treatment plant lagoons and sludge handling project. This project will replace the existing mechanical sludge handling system with 4 basins installed at the treatment plant. These 4 drying basins will process sludge and water flow so that when one basin is full, the drying process can begin with the new water being sent to the next basin. This process will be more efficient and cheaper for the city to operate. This 20-year loan has an interest rate of 1% and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. Moving on to our drinking water state revolving fund, the Big Sandy Water District's Fund F loan in the amount of $138,295 is for the Asset Management for Lead Service Line Inventory Project. The project will allow the Water District to comply with EPA's lead and copper rule, which requires water systems to conduct a comprehensive inventory of each service connection to determine the service line's material on both sides of the meter. Funding will be used to acquire technical assistance, GIS, GPS equipment, and hire workers to provide a full accounting of system assets and any potential lead assets. This 100% principal forgiveness loan was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. The North Marshall Water District's Fund F loan in the amount of $2,405,000 is for their PFAS mitigation at Carter Bryan Water Treatment Plant. The project involves the installation of advanced treatment technologies to remove PFAS from the water supply. This 20-year loan has an interest rate of 2.75% and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. The Ohio County Water District's Fund F loan is in the amount of $6,196,000 and is for their IPE North Water Main project. This project includes the installation of water transmission lines from the vicinity of the Industrial Park East Tank to Highway 69 and the replacement of a water main along US 62 from Goshen Church Road to 3rd Street. This 20-year loan has an interest rate of 1.75% interest and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. And the last loan is for the Grayson County Water District's Fund F loan in the amount of $7,848,000 for their East-West Connector Phase 3 project. This project includes the purchase of territory from Edmonson County Water District. This regional solution will provide shutdown of an aging wax water treatment plant, and the purchase contains approximately 130 miles of pipe and 3,500 customer services inside Grayson County. There will also be construction of a 30,000-foot, 10-inch transmission line in addition to a pump station and 3 new connections, and the rehabilitation of 4 existing water towers. This 30-year loan has a 1% interest rate and was approved at the December 4th KIA board meeting. And the last item for approval is a grant from Round 2 of the Cleaner Water Program. This program was funded under House Bill 1 of the 22 session, and this one water grant consists of a reallocation from the county allocation pool.
Okay. Do I hear any questions, discussion? Senator Fromeyer has a question.
Sandy, thank you. On the regional, the second to the last one that you were explaining, that combined how many users?
I believe 3,500.
Okay. So that is solving a lot of problems by going with a more regional approach.
Yes.
And probably saving money in the long haul. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Any other member have any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
A motion.
Motion made. Do I hear a second? Second. Have a second made by Representative Stalker. All right. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll?
Senator Girdler. Aye. Senator Maiden. Senator Thomas. Aye. Representative Petrie. Representative Stalker.
Yes.
Representative Thomas. Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. Okay, so we have the 8 items requiring action now. You have one more. Your line item water grant reallocation requiring no action. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you so much. This reallocation is from the 22 session, appropriated in House Bill 1 of that 2022 session, and it is a water grant requesting a reallocation.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? If not, thank you very much and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, next on the agenda is Steve Starkweather. He is here in person to present on agenda item 7B and 7C, a new debt issue for SFCC debt issue requiring action and a previous debt issue requiring no action. So we have a new debt and then 4 SFCC debt issuance requirements. So go ahead, you're here, ready to go. So
yes,
introduce
sir.
yourself and the floor is yours.
All right. Steve Starkweather, Deputy Executive Director, Kentucky Office of Financial Management. First, we have the University of Louisville General Receipts Bond Anticipation Notes 2026 Series A at an estimated par of $15 million, authorized in the 2024 regular session as asset preservation pool and construct residence hall. The university is targeting a March 2026 competitive bank deal for this piece of the project, followed later in the construction process by permanent bond financing, which will also be brought before the committee for approval. The university requests the committee's approval for this financing.
Okay. Let's see, did we need to roll these items or not?
No, he'll vote on this, and then he'll go with the previous set issue.
Excuse me again.
We'll vote on this, and then he'll.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and vote on that. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second? Second? All right, about to die for lack of a second. We have a second. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll?
Senator Girdler, Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas, Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer,
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. All right, so we have that approved and voted on, so go forward.
Okay. This next one is an informational item. The reporting of State Property and Buildings Commission project number 133 for $940,430,000. This financing, which included authorized projects across multiple sessions of the General Assembly, included a new money series, Series A, at $775 million, with a tick of 3.8546, and refunding bonds of $165,430,000 at a tick of 2.8653. The refunding generated roughly 9.4 million of net present value savings, or roughly 5.14%. As you said, this is an informational item, sir.
Yes. Does any member have any questions? Go ahead, Senator.
Is this action being taken because of the slide interest rates by the Fed over the last couple of months?
I would say that we are taking advantage of currently callable bonds that show economic savings. Now, there's a timing cycle for these, so you have to wait for the call date. Typically, the state issues 20-year debt with a 10-year par call. We used to be able to advance refund and save on a rate basis, but this is more of a scheduled, taking a bite at the apple, trying to lower the state's capital cost as we go down the spectrum.
Maybe because if you're doing that, that makes a lot of sense, because it saves the state money.
Yes, it does. We saved in my career, we've saved the state over $500 million through this type of transaction.
Yes. Anybody else have any questions?
Them figures are big.
They are big.
He ain't like my wife, go to the store and tells me how much money she saved me before we got back, and it still cost me money. That's it.
He is like your wife.
Nothing else. So what I'm understanding you to say is kind of dollar cost averaging. You all are taking advantage of it because it's there, but because it's there, you would look at it, and then when they become callable, you kind of watch the market, and as you do, you take advantage of the situation as it presents itself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We keep a constant eye on the state's outstanding debt profile, and we look for those economic savings in comparison to the call dates. And as we move through, we send Catherine on a pretty regular basis the callable bonds outstanding.
Correct.
I think that's something that the legislature is also very interested in keeping an eye on. But yes, we act when they're in the money. So it's kind of like options, right? You have a above the money, below the money, and the strike price. We're looking at the strike price.
Correct. I think if she was telling me the other day, $775 million, is that about the number you have callable at this or bond?
Well, it's all in how you slice it, sir. Every time somebody asks me a question like that, it all depends on what you're looking at. Are you talking about general fund, agency fund, road fund? How you slice it really matters.
And the devil's in the detail of
Yes,
when
sir.
you take that and when you don't, because once you take it, then your opportunity to take it if it's lower goes away.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yeah. So that's what you've got to watch out for. Is that everybody wants to hit the bottom and everybody wants to be on the top, but somewhere in the lower part of it's probably where you want to be, because hitting the bottom's sometimes hard to do.
Well, and that's why we take a measured approach to layering on the state's debt as we stack down the yield curve.
Correct. All right. Anybody else have any question? Thank you for your testimony. So I think we have the other four then. SFCC debt issue items requiring action. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We have, would you like to roll those together or
Yes,
individually?
I would. So I do have a motion to roll those by Senator Gurgler and a second by Senator Fromeyer. So yes, we'll consider those rolled. And
Okay. As you said, there's 4 new money projects. Augusta Independent, $4.575 million, and these are all estimated amounts. Breckenridge County, $39.485 estimated. Caverna Independent at $2.08 million, and Monroe County at $12 million. These projects were all 100% instructional and required no tax increase. SFCC requests your approval.
Okay. Do I hear a motion? You made the motion, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Motion made, second. So, Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Girdler. Senator Maiden. Senator Thomas. Representative Petrie. Representative Stalker.
Yes.
Representative Thomas. Co-Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Chair McPherson.
Yes. All right, so we've got you going here, and again, Merry Christmas. So I think we have Ms. Leslie Gohagan here in person to present on agenda item number 8, a status report on the Louisville Area Authority requiring no action. So it looks like you're here and you brought a guest. So y'all introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
My name is Leslie Gohagan, and I'm chair of the Louisville Arena Authority Board in Louisville.
Yeah, maybe you have to move it closer to you, or if it's on, I'm not for sure.
How's that?
A little better.
Still don't think it's on.
Still don't think it's on. Let me make sure your green light's green.
There.
Now you're
Okay.
on. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. My name is Leslie Gohagan. I'm chair of the Louisville Arena Authority Board in Louisville. And I have with me Chip Sutherland, who is with Baird, and Baird is the financial advisor for the Arena Authority to make sure that we meet all of our deadlines and the many things that we need to take care of as we oversee the operations of the KFC Yum Center. So I'm here today to update you on the financial status of the Arena Authority. Since October, we've been celebrating our 15th anniversary of opening, October 10th of 2010. And we've taken this opportunity of the 15th anniversary to launch a strategic planning initiative. And through this initiative, we're looking at the fan experience and how to make sure we remain relevant into the future. The 2 key parts of we've updated the vision and mission statements that you see in the handout, and 2 key points of that is fan experience and economic development. And economic development has been an issue for the last 20 years since the idea came to build a new arena in downtown Louisville. And so the sales tax revenue that came off of the 2 square mile TIF back in 2005 was about a little over $17 million. And as of December of 2024, the tax year of 2024, that the taxes were up to almost $39 million. So we feel like this is an example of that we are meeting our mission of enhancing economic development. You can also just through looking at this area, the Yum Center sits on a square, full square block where used to be the electrical company's substation. So it's a much nicer view as you come into the city, and also up and down Main Street. You can see the results of the economic development over the last 15 years. Many hotels and restaurants have been added. Just to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to, there have been 2 economic impact studies done, one in 2014 and one more recently in 2023. And those two economic impact studies together show that there's been a $1.4 billion economic impact from the operations of the KFC Yum Center. And kind of some key points out of that is just in the most recent one in 2023, over the 9 years, which did include the COVID period, that we had just shy of $1 billion of economic impact. And that was annually an average of 580 full-time jobs within the Louisville metro area. Another interesting statistics, I think, is that over 50% of the people that come through the door at the KFC Yum Center are from outside of Jefferson County, and 25% are from outside of the state. So we definitely, all of this emphasizing what we are doing with economic development. So kind of a summary of our 15 years of operations of $1.4 billion of economic impact, over 2,000 events, and over 13 million people coming through the doors. When we, back during the COVID period, we are anticipating a real hit on our revenue, as everybody would have experienced. And we received from the state and Metro Louisville about $13.2 million of relief money. We used that money plus some of our own to pay down almost $31 million, prepay about $31 million on our debt. And that had a result of reducing the payoff period by 1 year. It also immediately reduced about $39 million of outstanding interest expense and about $1.5 million of interest annually. So that brings us to kind of where we are today and give you an idea of the TIF revenue versus our debt service. So you will see a schedule of on page 6 that we started with 2018. So you see the actual TIF revenue, and just as a reminder, we can only use the revenue from the TIF to pay down debt service or to prepay debt. So, and that is composed of sales tax revenue. The majority of it is sales tax revenue, but there's some property tax revenue there. You'll note it in 2021, it plunged to to the TIF revenue, and that was really only property tax. We received no sales tax. We began to see recovery the subsequent year, and we were very pleased that by 2024 we had exceeded our high point. And so we feel like we're definitely back on the road to recovery from COVID. But you will notice by looking at the second column, which is our annual debt service, that the TIF revenue does not cover our debt service. So for future years, we've made some projections. We think we're hopefully very conservative, and that the TIF revenue will increase more than what we're estimating. But we have a 2% increase on sales tax and 0% on property tax. And with that projection, it would look like that in 2034 would be the first year that we would be exceeding, where the TIF revenue would exceed our debt service. And then at that point, we would be able to start prepaying debt each year with whatever that excess amount is over the debt service, because we can't use it for anything else. We would begin to pay down the debt. And that looks like that would reduce it. Instead of pay back in 2046, we would pay off our debt in 2045. So our commitment is that we would apply the excess TIF revenue to prepayment. And so if our projections are as conservative as we think, it may start before 2034. In the meantime, we will be using what we receive from Metro Louisville, the University of Louisville, to pay that difference between what the TIF revenue is and what our debt service is. And the remainder of those contributions then are used for capital improvements. And about 3 years ago, we did a 30-year capital plan, and that's a $230 million over 30 years. So we will intend to self-fund. And so the idea is we want to be able to do that so that we don't have to, come back to any public entity to ask for more money. We will be self-sustaining. So that's what our goal is. Be happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Senator.
Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Bohagan, let me begin by saying, first of all, I don't question the importance of the Louisville Area Arena Authority to the state. I've been to the Yum Center several times. I'm in Louisville all the time, even though I'm in Lexington. And so I recognize that it has a lot of value to the state. But I do want to ask a few questions,
Sure.
if I may. If I'm reading this correctly, and tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know that now. There's still an outstanding debt on the Louisville Arena Authority of $643.6 million. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly? That's how much we, and I'm we being the state now, since the state did agree to finance this. That's how much we still owe on the arena. I'm looking on page 6.
Yes.
Okay. $643
No,
million.
that's how much we would pay. No, that's how much we would pay. That adds up the debt service from 2018 through 2045.
How much is still owed? Then answer this question. How much is still owed today? What's the outstanding debt on the arena as of today?
This is Chip Sutherland with Baird. It's just a little over $300 million in par amount.
Okay.
The slide that she was referencing on the prepayment, you can see on page
6 is what it was.
On page what?
Page 5. There was the Arena Authority has paid in advance of the scheduled payments $30.9 million. It prepaid debt, and then also the last bullet point, it had scheduled principal payments. It has paid 23.5 of that, so it's paid down $53 million of some $370 million or so of bonds.
Right. Okay. But as of the end of 2025, the state still owes $300 million on that building. Okay. And then, as again, I'm back on page 6. And I understand the TIF revenues being applied to finance this.
Yes.
It looks like over the most recent years, the TIF revenues have not been sufficient to pay for the outstanding debt.
Right.
And so the addition, if I understand you correctly, comes from the University of Louisville and comes from the city of Louisville.
Yes.
Or I should say the Jefferson County Metro government.
Yes.
To pay that difference.
Yes. We get $10.8 million from Metro Louisville and $2.42 from the University of Louisville.
Okay. All right. You've answered my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Gurgley.
Refresh me. Did we at one time look at going 6 miles on the TIF?
The very first TIF, yes, was a 6 square mile. And then I want to say about 2012, it was reduced to the 2 square miles.
And we was going with the 6 in order to bring more money to the table?
Correct.
And refresh me again.
It's okay.
Louisville, University of Louisville sports or whatever's there, they get a majority of the money that's paid to enter in. For an example, the other day I obviously watched Louisville and UK play basketball.
Right.
First time in 6 years it had sold out. That really don't have anything to do with the state other than the fact that the University of Louisville sports gets that money, right?
There's a lease agreement, and they sell the tickets, but there is a sharing in terms of sponsorships and of food and beverage. So there is some money off of that game, for example, did come back to the operations of the arena.
So us Kentucky fans have to root for Louisville to at least win 30 games a year and lose 1. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we are glad to see that the winning ways are coming back for University of Louisville men's basketball. Yes.
Well, and only reason this was my first year here in 2017, and they throwed this in my lap, and I didn't even know what they was talking about. And
that was during the refinancing, and it has a very positive.
And we went to 2045, and my response was, "Go to 2055. I'll be 100-year-old and won't be around to worry about it." But it has been in A&R meetings, it's been a sticky situation in some situations.
Well, that 2017 refinancing is what really helped to bridge the gap for us during COVID, and so we feel like that we are on solid ground and good footing. So we appreciated that was worked through back in 2017. I know it was a lot.
You done? So Senator Fromeyer.
Thank you. So this was just provided.
Yes.
So our folks that might be watching this don't have this information. So
Correct.
the information that we looked at in advance of the meeting indicates that there's total uses of $410,355,118. So the par amount was $202 million, then $175 million, and you're referring to refinancing, but there was additional taxpayer dollars that went in.
That went in the refinancing.
In 2017 in the refinancing. So where is that captured? It's difficult when I look at the supplemental information you provided, and we'll share this with the community so that this can be put out onto the Legislative Research Commission. What is indicating in 2025 receipts of $18,190,370, you're saying can't go to pay down the debt. Is that what you shared with us, that cannot be applied to pay down the debt?
We're not saying that can't apply to be. What I said is that the TIF revenue can only be applied to pay down the debt. So we are limited in how that money can be used, and so we ensure that we use that money to pay down the debt. Right now, it can't meet the full debt service.
Okay.
As soon as it does, we will be using that amount that's over and above the debt service to prepay principal going forward.
So the important question that Senator Girdler was trying to acknowledge, what are the gross revenues? Because all we're seeing is a number of 18,190,000, yet we see a tremendous vision that you shared with us, and thank you. This is meaningful. But what are the gross revenues? And then what are the factors that are not allowing this debt to be paid down more quickly and more responsibly?
Well, we have a $230 million capital improvement plan for over 30 years, $230 million over 30 years.
In addition to the $377 million par debt.
Yes.
So we're talking almost $600 million.
Right. And so what we want to make sure is that we can be self-sufficient and that we do not have to come back to ask for additional money.
And how are we to have any confidence? Because this information provided to us today was very last minute. So this capital projects and bonds oversight really didn't have any oversight in advance of this meeting. This isn't even included in the auditor's report. What's very difficult to recognize is what are the gross revenues. Based on the gross revenues, what leads us to a mere, and I was at that sellout game. It was great. I enjoyed the arena much, so I'm not diminishing the importance of the arena or the value, but our job is to be protectors of the taxpayer's dollar. And I can't even conceive of how we only end up with 18 million was earned the night of the UK versus U of L basketball game, I assure you. So
that
how
would
do
have
we
been nice
only,
if that were the case. There are there's the operations of the arena, which is the arena is managed through a contract with Legends Global. And then they operate the arena, and then the dollars, the profits, hopefully it's profits. During COVID it was not, but the profits from that feed into then the Arena Authority's financial statement. And so those dollars then on the Arena Authority go into building up our R&R fund, our renewal and replacement fund, and also to ensure that we have money to pay for the debt service. And so we want to continue if you think about $230 million over 30 years, it's ebbing and flowing. So like for this year, it was almost $15 million of capital because we put on a new roof. Another year it might be more like $2 million. So it depends on, what the estimated life, and something like a roof, if the life's up in 15 years, so we're going to replace it. Some other things we can stretch, like new seating. We maybe can stretch that a couple of years. So each year we reevaluate, and not just because that 30-year plan said that, but we want to build up that fund so that we do not, because if we prepay every single dollar that we have in excess, we aren't going to be able to fund that capital improvement plan.
I guess my challenge is I don't see this spelled out for us. So we don't see the financial health that you're verbalizing. We don't see that on paper.
Okay.
So I do believe that it's necessary to give us a little bit more detail that provides, if we're talking about $600 million, and what this is expressing is a net $18 million that's going towards a $600 million expense or a $377 million capital project or bond, that doesn't give me, at the moment I have zero confidence. So I'm looking for a better breakout, I guess. Am I unclear?
No, ma'am. If I may just sort of high level, just this was really meant just to show when the state's contribution to the project, because there's, it's sort of a three-legged stool. You've got arena revenues, like going to the basketball game or to a concert, that goes into arena revenue bucket. So there's net revenues off of that. And then there's the Metro Louisville's contribution, which is a little over $10 million per year that they have to, July 1 every year out of their budget, they have to put $10 million of revenue into the Metro bucket. And then there's the state bucket, which is sort of what we're showing here. This was really just to illustrate, as Chair said, your part of the deal for the TIF was that the state said you can have our revenues, but it can only be used for debt service. And so this was just to illustrate, this is the projection when state revenues will exceed debt service, and then there'll be extra to be applied towards more prepayment of debt. So if I'm help framing it a little bit, you've got...
I'm just wondering, why aren't Louisville revenues paying down the debt, and why aren't other that are going into the arena success paying down the debt? Why is it only the TIF?
Well, that's why I said the difference, because we don't have enough TIF revenue to pay the debt service. We are using the dollars from Metro Louisville and from the University of Louisville to pay that down, because it does not match up. So we are using those dollars to pay the debt service, and any leftover from that is going to help pay for our capital.
It looks
it's
like
a
it's only
closed loop
two.
indenture, and so we can only use TIF money for the debt, and we can only use Metro dollars and the university's dollars for debt, capital, and operations. So, so the reason we showed the TIF was because that's what we thought that y'all were interested in, was the TIF revenue, and we wanted to show how we would be using that to pay down the debt and be able to commit that that's when we would start doing more prepayments, is once it exceeds that. Because right now, we're having to use those other dollars to service the debt as well as our capital plan. So we're trying to manage the dollars across all of our expenses so that we can, again, be self-sustaining. And that's, part of our strategic plan is we want to figure out how we can enhance our operational dollars, because we know when 2045 comes around, whoever's sitting in, these seats doesn't want to have to give more money. So we're trying to be self-sustaining.
In my very first question, going back to what are the gross revenues? What we see is the TIF is 18 million. What are the gross revenues for Yum Center in 2025?
I can pull out now.
Yeah, like it gives us
in 25
it gives us an extensive men's basketball games, women's basketball games, other university sponsored events, private suite rentals. It gives us a magnitude of sources of revenue, but we don't, in our summary, we don't have any gross number provided to us.
I'm not
Am I missing?
Senator Thomas.
I want to tell you, you raised a good point. You talked about the fact that UK ball game raised about 18 million. I know you being somewhat facetious, but I want you to know this: the average person who goes to a high-level Division I basketball game, say at Rupp Arena, will spend $160 that night. That's assuming the ticket price.
The Frohmeyers would agree with that, Senator Thomas.
So that was clearly about a $3 million night in gross revenues for that center. If you take that number, if you do the sports business, and every person there is going to average of $160. That was a $3 million night.
Does that include the ticket or not?
That includes the ticket. So that was about a $3 million night, at least.
So primarily, as I'm sensitive to everyone's time as well, and thank you, Chairman, for indulging me. I'm very flustered. I'm also a financial advisor, so this is what I eat and breathe for a living, but I'm an elected member of the Kentucky legislature and have made a commitment that we are going to be so sensitive about how the taxpayer dollar is spent. And I appreciate and respect your thoughts there, Senator Thomas, that that's a person that chooses to spend their $160. But I don't want to pull it out of a taxpayer's pocket, because this beautiful Yum Arena may or may not be paying down an indebtedness that is owed and was extenuate. And COVID was so challenging and unusual. So, grateful that we got through that. But we're in a place that gross revenues are substantial. And how are we leading gross revenues? Yes, I know we need to replace some roof issues or other things. And it is a beautiful facility. Grateful for that. And you don't have to answer, but I would like you to provide us so that in our January capital projects and bonds oversight, you're welcome to come back and present some updated numbers. So we won't press you further for today. From my perspective, that's all my question. I would just like more information. It's a little bit anemic.
Senator Gergler, I think, has another comment.
We raised in 2017, didn't we go from the city of Louisville or Jefferson County, whatever we want to call it? Didn't they pay more into the pot after that year also? Wasn't they paying $8 million, went to $10 million, or whatever?
The ceiling had been $10.8 million, but it could have been variable in the prior years.
And now
and that set that it was always
we're locking it
10.8.
in. Jim Lell.
They locked it in. It's extended. Their commitment is just the same as the state's. They will make $10.8 million as long as the bonds are outstanding.
And then, what percentage of sales does it go back to the authority? Like your beer sales or your ice cream sales or whatever it is in those arenas. Is there a percentage we get from the University of Louisville?
There is an agreement there's a third party, Sodexo, that provides food and beverage at the arena. And we have an agreement with them. And then the agreement with the University of Louisville, so the food and beverage, there's a percentage that goes back to U of L and a percentage that remains with the arena. And then on concerts and everything else, then that stays with the arena.
So we won't get the 3 million that he's talking about. We'll only get a small percentage of that 3 million. All right.
Right.
Thank you.
So I'm going to take my bite at the apple here. I'm a real estate appraiser.
Uh-huh.
I understand contingencies. I understand what you're doing. You're talking about $6 million a year contingency on $230 million over 30 years, average. I understand all that, but you're only showing us one piece of the puzzle here, is what we're trying to say. You're only showing us the TIF revenue. We want to see the whole revenue. We want to see the whole balance sheet. We understand you've got a business to run.
Okay.
But you're only showing us one side of the business. You're only showing us kind of picture framing what you're wanting us to see. So in your testimony earlier, tell me if I'm wrong, but you all said in 2023, 2024, you paid down about $31 million.
Yes.
On top of. Okay, so where is the refinancing? You said you knocked a year off of this. Why are we still down to 2045 if you knocked a year off of it?
It was 2047.
Oh, it was?
Originally, yes.
Okay.
We,
So it does,
in the
so it did
documents,
show
we
up,
have through 2054, but
Okay.
if everything goes as planned, it would be 2047. That prepayment of $30.9 million knocked it down to
Did bring it down to
2046.
24. Okay.
And
All
then
right.
this,
Well, that's
what
good.
we're conservatively projecting right now, it would be 2045.
And you're projecting, if I'm right, and you're saying in a 2% increase in sales tax revenue on the TIF, in 2033 you project to break even. 2024 you project a revenue of $206,000 above and beyond,
Yes.
which that money, would that then start paying down
Yes,
the
then
debt
we
even
would start.
quicker?
We would take that annually then and pay down as
So if
at the end
if
of
we
each
see
year.
this rolling back in, does this 2045 show this estimated 29 million, or is it not wrapped back into this?
No, this was just to show.
It's
the-
just an estimate. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
projection.
correct.
The projection,
But
yeah.
the-
Yes, but if this money wraps in, then this number would start backing up as you paid it off. Is that correct?
It'd pay the bonds off faster.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I guess our concluding statement was we commit that we would, anything that's in excess of TIF revenue above debt service, we would pay down. And whether that happens in 2034 or in 2029 or whenever that might happen. I mean, because.
But I think our frustration is we're only seeing
Okay.
a portion of it. Is that we're wanting to see kind of what, and do you have the option of renegotiating those contracts, and are those bond issuance, or are they coming up for recall? Can they be recalled at what point in time to refinance again? Is that a possibility?
It is. In 2017, we had a 10-year call like Mr. Starkweather talked
Correct.
about, typical with bonds, but it also had, there was a portion of the bonds, the $30.9 million that was prepaid, had a 5-year call on it with the intention of prepaying it. So the arena did something extraordinary when it prepaid that debt down.
I understand. And that's all good, and we appreciate it. We just know
And
that
we do periodically talk about that if there's an opportunity to refinance. And any, excess dollars that are like sitting in that R&R fund, our renewal and replacement fund, we are investing that and, getting interest income off of that. So, I mean, we are trying to be very good stewards
I
of all of
understand.
this public money.
I agree. I appreciate. I just think that we're not seeing all the pieces of the puzzle.
Well, and it's not that we weren't, we just didn't want to fuzzy up the picture. But if you want to see the whole thing, we definitely, we can provide that.
So you're saying.
So what are you looking at that has the 18.1 million? I was just curious what that information was that you had.
On your 2025, with 18,190,000 was the income based on the debt of 20,488,000. 2020. We're just looking at line on this current year, 2025.
Yeah, because we don't even have our final financial statement for 2025. So.
I think he's talking about. He's talking about right here.
Are you all saying that we need
Oh,
to?
you're talking about the 18.1
Yes.
of the TIF revenue.
TIF revenue.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Are me and Reggie to root for Louisville tonight against Tennessee, and that'll make us more money?
Just to
The
understand.
answer is yes. The answer is yes.
The 18.1, almost 18.2 million, so that came from the sales tax and the property tax from 2024. So that's already water under the bridge. And so that was what we will use to pay back on the debt service, and then we have to get another 1.8, you know, 2.3 from someplace else.
You have a gap there.
Yeah, we have a gap, and so we cover that
we
within
understand.
these other sources of dollars.
We just want to see the other sources.
Okay.
Is that fair enough? I mean, is that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you were talking about the 18.1, I didn't realize that's what you were looking at.
Senator Girdler acknowledged we do want to see all three legs in the question around the opportunity to refinance. I mean, we are truly looking for every and any opportunity. And for the record, I'm a Kentucky Wildcat. So for me to even acknowledge this very next statement is hard. But I'm going to say that it was thrilling to be at the UK U of L and to see the arena full. It was not 2 years before.
Right.
And I was at that UK U of L game, which was fun for me. But the reality that we do want to see that success. We do want to see Louisville thrive. We do want to see more police officers hired and paid for, you know, all those things that contribute to what makes Louisville great.
Right.
Respectfully. The most important aspect of what I believe our function is on this board in the clearer understanding of what's the flow of the dollars, and are we with diligence paying the debt, and we don't want to have any possibility that the taxpayer has to show up. I would much rather that the guest of Louisville, Kentucky pay the debt down, not the taxpayer. And I think you're proving to us that it's a beautiful facility that's well sought out and in high demand. But let's pay off the debt. And
the
pay
only
off the debt.
caution, I guess, that this was trying to show is that we have not reached a point yet to where the TIF supports the full debt service, and we also are faced with a capital improvement because, you know, we are known for having a pristine facility. Entertainers want to come there. The NCAA wants to bring tournaments there, and we want to keep it in that kind of shape and be proactive in making sure we maintain it well, and that we're always, you know, trying to be at the top of our game. And so that's why we feel like we have to balance that against prepaying, and we don't want to, because then we don't want to get caught to where we have to come back and say we need another roof.
Senator Thomas, you have something else?
Yeah, I want to point out to the committee chairman person that Rupp Arena, unlike the Up Center, has no state debt. Has no state debt.
No state debt. No state debt.
That is totally financed. You know, through
private partnership.
Private funds, First Kentucky funds, and the city of Kentucky. We owe the state owes the state no money on Rupp Arena.
You're welcome. Myers paid into that too.
So all I would say,
Because I'm like you, you can't. I believe.
we know you have a business to run. We appreciate it, and you're exactly right. You cannot pay your debt off to the point that you cannot keep a retention. You know, something to keep everything flowing. It's got to go. You've got to have retention. We want transparency.
Sure.
That's all we want is transparency, so that we can answer to our constituents that that everything that can be done is being done. And we're not saying you're not. We just want to be able to prove it to them. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Motion adjourned. Well, for that, I think, yes, motion to adjourn, we understand. The next meeting will be, right now, tentatively, when we're in session, on the 29th at 12 o'clock. Looks like that's the best for our schedule.
I can't be there that early.
29th of January.
That's a Thursday.
It is, and we'll be in session at 12 o'clock.
So it'd be before we go into session.
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I'm sorry. Did I say 2? I might have said 2. Yeah. 12 o'clock. We'll be in session.
Only promise I want is if you have to exhume my body or his body to come get that money in 2045. It is. He's got
We stand adjourned. On that note, we stand adjourned.
Man.